Asteroid of fear.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Men of the House podcast. And it is Monday morning. I actually got a little time to record, so we're going to do this. A little special Monday drop. Yeah. Well, let's go over, do a little weekend recap, but also go over this morning. And I'm excited to say this morning is the first AM workout that I have gotten since 3 weeks. Yeah, so I'm normally an AM workout person. I think I told you guys, but I've been forced to work out in the evenings because my back has been tweaked and it takes me a good 3 to 4 hours to get moving, to work out my back to where it's comfortable enough to walk normal, like I don't have a corn cob stuck up my ass. So, yeah, it's finally getting to a place of healing. It's still a little sore and jeffed, but needless to say, it was well enough this morning that got a quick 30-minute workout in while my wife was getting my daughter ready for school. And maybe I can get another one in later. And pretty soon, hopefully, my back will be well enough to start hitting the dumbbells and kettlebells. Yeah, that's going to be the goal. Pretty soon, get back to lifting. Because, yeah, yesterday I hit the lowest weight I've had in 20 years. I hit 156.8, so I'm down from 213 pounds to 156 pounds, 0.8. And I have a goal weight of 150. It actually could be a little bit lower, maybe 145 is about my normal weight. It's funny, you keep seeing the mic pop in for the background. All right. On the second cup of coffee after a little workout. Had a little few too many calories yesterday, and I think I need to fast most of the day. A little celebratory for the weight loss. Put on an extra 1.2 pounds in that celebration. But it'll go away. I need the extra calories, the extra nourishment, nourish the soul. I always say sometimes you nourish the body, other times you nourish the soul. And the little fat kid in me needed some nourishment yesterday. And after a long week, we decided on, we had the Papa John's Shaq-a-Roni. I had 2 slices. Quite a bit of carbs, quite a bit of protein, but I didn't eat most of the day, or I ate super clean. Had 90 something grams of protein by 3 o'clock. So I was doing well. But it was in the evening. I had a few snacks and ate some grapes because we were making, those viral grapes, I think on TikTok or Costco sells them. Basically, take some grapes, squeeze some lemon over them, and then roll them in some sugar-free Jello powder. I did the Starburst, Blue Raz, and All Pink. Those should be good for today. It's supposed to be like a healthy mock-up of Sour Patch Kids. And if I'm talking low, I'm not trying to, but volume should be good on here. But it is just barely after 7 and client sleeping. Wife and daughter just left for school. My wife's got to go register the work van and vote, but she has to go to a different county about 45 minutes away or more. On that note, I don't think I'll get to vote because we are in that different county and I have not been back to that county for the 3 weeks that I've been here. Haven't been home. This is my new home. Like being on deployment a little bit. Kind of been confined minus a few outings here and there. But yeah, I don't know. I know everyone said you should vote. Your voice should be heard. There's that saying, sometimes you choose by doing nothing. Um, but with both sides being so polarizing right now, I do believe things are somewhere in the middle. The truth is always somewhere in the middle. There's some things I'm for on the left side, there's a lot of things I'm for on the right side, but, to me, it's like having to choose two foods that you like with toppings or condiments you don't like, meaning that I love pizza, but if you say, okay, over here is pizza with anchovies, I don't know. But then over here, let's say I love wings, but we're going to toss them in a mustard based sauce. Not a fan. So I would probably just fast, not eat at all. That's kind of how I relate the voting. But, part of it too is just the logistics of it is um, I don't think between today and tomorrow, with everything my wife has on her plate and what I have on my plate, that I'm going to be able to drive 45 minutes to a different county just to vote. Yeah, too much freedom. You end up living in San Francisco. Too much restriction. You end up in Louisiana with the Ten Commandments on the wall. Not that I would throw shade at that, but I think one side's too far out there and the other side's too far back. Although you need the basics. But we live in quite a different world than we did when I was growing up, when that was probably more acceptable. Um, yeah, it's bananas. Should be interesting either way. Hope everybody keeps their cool. Um, hope there's no violence, craziness after the fact. Because I think, no matter what, people are gonna be fanatical. I don't eat eggs. Everybody thinks I'm weird. Believe me, I wish I did. It would make breakfast taco life here in Texas much more exciting. However, anyone who eats eggs always tries to sell you on the fact how good eggs are. Oh, they're good in protein. Have you tried them like this? Have you had them in an omelet? Have you had meat with them? Did you put some hot sauce, some salsa, some ketchup? Blah, 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 blah. That's kind of how I feel about political agendas. Is, of course, they're going to try to sell you on why their shit is the best. It's a no-brainer. They're trying to convince you. But just like you would never convince me to eat eggs, there's some issues on either side you're never going to convince me of. So, whatever. And maybe I only brought that up because tomorrow is the end of the election. See how it goes. But enough about that. Let's talk about the lessons learned this weekend. A little weekend recap. I recorded Saturday morning because I was late, because I was frustrated. And, Friday night, I think I stepped away. Or no, maybe it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. But the continuation of frustration continued on Saturday, even though I got my workout in early and um, recorded, got all my videos clipped and posted and scheduled. Later in the day, it became this thing where my wife and daughter went to a birthday party and I was left behind. And then after the birthday party, I expected them to return and come home. And they'd gone to see my dad and they were dropping some stuff off. And my mom had picked up an order from Sam's for both myself and my dad, grabbing us some water for the Keurigs and cases of water and whatnot. And Sam's is close to my dad, so I just said, "Oh, drop it off over there." And I saw that the fights were going to be starting UFC fights, and that's something kind of me and my dad do on the regular. Is on Saturdays we watch the fights if there's any available. But we've missed some over the past 3 weeks with this new role that I've been in, and partially because my wife and daughter, mother were out of town, and I was doing this, taking care of Buck. So yeah, I tell my wife it's like 10 till 3, maybe 3. And she's like, "Oh, we're coming home." And I'm like, "Oh, awesome." I'm like, "The fights start at 4. Um, I can go hang out with my dad, watch the fights. Maybe we can grab a pizza because he doesn't eat it often, but he likes it." And so I'm waiting. And, they get ready to leave my dad's. And instead of coming home, my daughter wants to go to Sephora because my wife's doing this little thing like, we're in this strange place. She's been a trooper about it. And so, kind of for her birthday, she's over the week getting her a couple of little things or letting her pick out some things. And she's put up some posters and different things in the room that she's staying in, kind of making it hers, making it comfortable for her, which I dig and respect. And I'm thankful that she's kind of making it her own and stepping into it and not putting up a fuss about not being in our normal digs. But, she wanted to go to Sephora. She's going to be 11. She's at that age where she's starting skincare routines and becoming a little lady. And so, yeah, like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, they come home. And I'm super frustrated because Friday I didn't get my workout in. Friday I didn't get to record. Those are the two things I need. And then Saturday, NLU book club, 11:30 to 12:30, which I got done. However, they had left when that started, and my wife had made breakfast. And I told him I had a meeting because he knows I do stuff outside of this. He knows I podcast. He knows I have meetings, whether it's business coaching, book club, whatever. And we told him, "Hey, I'm going to be indisposed for the next hour." Of course, about halfway through my meeting, wife and them are gone. I hear, "Hello, hello." He's over there. I have to get up and leave my meeting to clear his plate, table, whatever you want to call it. My wife had made him breakfast, so he was ready for the plate and cup of OJ to be picked up. So that was a little frustrating, but I think I explained that in one of the first episodes. If you hear a walkie-talkie go off or hear something in the background, then that is probably what it is. So yeah, you take micro frustrations, and then my wife shows up late, and I'm like super kind of pissed. And I and go see my dad. But before I see my dad, I drop off some stuff at um, one of the gentlemen's house that we also help care for, who just got out of rehab Friday and got a lift installed. That was in the last episode. And I was dropping off some food and stuff for him, and ended up there. My dad met me there, and we ended up having to help change and clean him because he's unable to get up, he's unable to transfer. He does have the lift, but he was not able to make it to the toilet yet. And yeah, so kind of helped do a little cleaning there. Then went and watched the end of the fights with my dad. Kind of blew off some steam and stepped away and got home late. I was still a little bit standoffish and slept partially on the couch and woke up in the middle of the night Sunday, came to bed. And when I woke up, I was kind of fine. I didn't feel that standoffishness, resentment that I felt from before. And then, I was able to actually talk to my wife. It kind of goes to the lesson over the weekend is, you got to release pressure slowly, kind of like a volcano and the lava flowing over. That way it doesn't blow. And for me, stepping away was that way to release pressure. But I was able to explain to my wife, I'm stuck here quite a bit. I do not require much. I require 30 minutes a day, at least, to work out. I need to record a couple times a week, and I need my book club on Saturday, an hour. Those are my cup fillers. And like I said before, it's kind of been hard with the working out because my back's been tweaked. So I'm having to wait till they get home. My daughter stays till 6 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday on school nights to work on a play. And therefore, we get home late. And then I'm kind of rushed through my workout because um, Buck likes for us to eat dinner together, like a family style. And he's usually hungry at that time, and we're trying to get everything ready for bed. He can digest food, we can clean him, change him, all that kind of stuff. And I'll get to bed on time. And so I'm normally rushing or cutting it short or not doing a full hour like I want to versus, only 30 minutes. But, I was able to tell her, hey, it's, um, these are the things I need. And I didn't get it Friday. And you could tell because I was irritated. And she knew it. She was like, hey, what's wrong with you? If you don't tell me, I don't know. But I didn't have the words to express it. Just the same way I didn't record because I was in a foul mood and it probably would have come off wrong. I couldn't express it at that moment. And God bless my wife for giving me the space and time to step away and figure this out. And, that's kind of the lesson is, I used to run away and isolate, but now it's more about intention, intentionally stepping away so I can figure out what I'm feeling and why. And then I can articulate that to her like I did the next morning is, look, I don't ask for much. I don't require much. I don't need things. What I need are these things. So I was stoked to be able to get my morning workout in because now we don't have to do that whole late thing again. Although I may get a second workout in today because I hit the low weight. I do want to push onto my goal weight, and I haven't really lifted in about 3 weeks because I put my gym membership on pause and I've been doing this, tweaked my back early in the game, and I've been restricted to cardio and walking only, no lifting. But yeah, I was able to say, this is what I need, but not also that was, the last time I had one-on-one time with my daughter was the first weekend we were here when her friends were all kind of busy, and I was like, well, look, we can hang out, and we went to the chiropractor and did some shopping and got some food, and that was the last time. And her and my wife have been hanging out for like 2 weeks, 2 weekends, going to school events, going to uh, different birthday parties, all kinds of stuff. And, that's cool. But I want my family time too. Sometimes my wife and daughter come here and it's a chance for me to step away and go see my dad, spend time with him, which I enjoy. And, that's a whole thing. And sometimes that's appropriate. But there's other times where it's not the whole like, I relieve you, you relieve me, so we can each step away and kind of get out of what seems like Groundhog Day or, in a loop. And it's also about being a family here, having family time here, not going, slowing down, having dinner together, watching TV. And yeah, being able to articulate that was important too is, I'm not in the military. I don't have to deploy and not see my wife and kids. We sleep in the same house. We live in the same house with Buck, and I see you daily. But let's not, get overly excited because we're closer to town. We're closer. We have better access to things. We're not out in the country. We're in the city. Let's take advantage. And, just because it's available doesn't mean you have to jump on everything that's available. You need to choose your time and place. Deliberate. Just like me stepping away to go, hey, let's figure this out. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? But, my wife and I have been together a long time, and so she begins to understand this about me, that I need to do this. She gives me the space. But I also recognize that I need to much sooner get it off my chest or talk to her, to clear up any misunderstandings sooner than later. But, I just challenge you guys to figure out, what are your cup fillers, what's non-negotiable. And if you're in a relationship, does your partner know these things? That way they're able to give you the time and space to do that, because they know that if you get this 30 minutes a day, 1 hour on Saturday, you know, 30 minutes to an hour a couple times a week to record, they know that if you get this, then you're showing up as your best self for them and everyone around. So I think that's super important to understand about yourself. And if you're in a relationship, for your partner to understand. And so yesterday, after that realization and talking about it, my wife did go to her thing that she likes to do, where she shops through, those places that you get Amazon and Target returns. And she's found AirPods for $10. She's found 3 air fryers for like $10. She found a $700 Breville espresso machine for $10. That was the latest find, and a new air fryer that we got here, because she's bought my dad one, bought us one. Now we got one over here. But they were putting out clothes, and she's never been there for that. And so she wanted to go and give me and my daughter a chance to hang out and tidy up things. But yesterday was kind of a perfect day where we spent time together, and my wife did household work, and I was able to hit all my metrics for tracking, and did some branding and marketing research and some Udemy courses I'm working on. Got the workout in early and got an hour instead of 30 minutes. And yeah, on the way back, my wife got pizza and we sat and ate together. And yeah, it was a great day. Almost perfect. We didn't have to go anywhere, didn't have to do anything, but just spend time together, hang out. Sometimes that's the best. I've said it in other podcasts, as whatever kind of relationships you have, whether it be a significant other, partner, family, whatever it is, you have to remember that sometimes the prize is just spending time with them. Once lives get so busy and things change, responsibilities mount, it becomes about, do we have enough money? Do we have enough food? Do we have this? Are we getting everything ready for my daughter to go to school all week, shoring up appointments, this and that, the other? And it gets in the way of that connection because we get busy with life. But we forget that spending time with the other person, being in their presence of someone you love, respect, or admire, that's the prize. That's the prize. The time spent together. Not what you can do for one another, not necessarily what you're doing together, but just being in presence and enjoying it. Because the people you truly love, and that's kind of the mark of knowing, is it doesn't matter what you're doing as long as you're together. And that's why that's important. I think it's important that we all remember that and kind of get back to that. That's where the joy and fulfillment lies, and the value of the other person. But yeah, I would say probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, super stressful. Sunday, rejuvenating. Woke up this morning, was able to get the workout in. Now I'm recording. After this, I'll work on some of my other my Udemy course, some of the other things I got to do before Buck wakes up, and then we got a full day of got some things on the list we got to do, some business items to take care of, and get some exercise in today. This Friday was kind of rough for him, so we kind of relaxed over the weekend. And yeah, wife's going to take care of some business. One of her clients canceled on her this morning, so she'll be home early. I get to pick up my daughter. Super stoked about that. But I just look forward to a productive, enjoyable day, which is rare for a Monday because, before this whole role, I used to take every Monday off. And I would have nothing but a Podcast Connection Network meeting schedule. My life has changed to kind of 7 days a week. Um, I used to like Mondays off because I like to be off while everybody else is going and doing the norm. That's kind of how I operate. When everybody flocks to something, I go the opposite way. So just like a Monday, everybody flocks to work and routine. I would always slow down and have that be my day to fill my cup and observe everything, the chaos around me, and not participate in the chaos while everyone else is. But now I have to participate. And it was nice to wake up and start participating right away with a workout. So I'm super, super stoked about feeling a little bit better, getting over this injury, shifting to a better routine, more productive. Might feel, arming myself for the day by getting that workout in and doing the hard shit first. So yeah, I anticipate this is, the underlying pain in my back being gone. Still a little irritated, but that is going to bring up my mood. Getting that morning vibrational change through a workout is going to shift my mood. Getting into a high frequency state right away. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked on a Monday how the week can go. And pray there's not too many curveballs, but as is life, there will be. You're either in the storm, coming out of the storm, or going into the storm. But the best thing you can do is arm yourself up for either way. And don't get too laxed. Don't get caught slipping. And make sure that you're, building that wall and that armament to protect yourself and your energy in those down times when you're coming out of the storm and going into the storm. That way, when you're in the storm, you can weather it like a trooper without complaining. Although, my buddy Andrew, who designed this, I remember we were at mile 23 of the Tan Death March and we sat down for a minute, took a break. We got 3 miles to go, and I'm like, come on, let's go. Giving him a hard time, and he's like, Well, I'll do it, but I just want to bitch about it. I go, okay, you can bitch while we walk, while we knock out these last 3.2 miles. So that's okay. Sometimes you can piss and moan as long as you get it done. Sometimes it's just the outer dialogue or your inner dialogue coming out. Even if it's that self-talk like, hey, just stop being a bitch. Let's get it done. There can be value in that. So remember, let off that steam. Don't blow up. Arm yourself during the times you're not in the storm so you can weather the storm. It's okay to bitch a little bit as long as you get it done. Remember, go out there and be the person you want to meet on this Monday. Hope you guys have a good week, and I'll be seeing you probably Wednesday and Saturday. Peace.
Let's go.